Title: The Curse of the Night Fisher. We found the boat floating upside down, but there was no sign of Baba. Just his net, tangled with something we couldn't explain. The elders always warned us about Lake Nyando. They said it wasn't just a lake, it was alive. Not in the way rivers flow or fish swim, but something deeper, something that watched and listened. When I was a child, I thought it was just a story to keep us from swimming too far. But the night my father vanished, I learned the truth. We lived in a small village near Lake Nyando in western Kenya. The lake was the heart of our lives. It gave us fish, water, and a place to gather during celebrations. But it also carried stories. Stories of people who disappeared under its surface, of strange lights that danced on the water at night, and of a creature that lived in its depths. The creature had no name, but the elders called it Nyoka wa Usiku, the night serpent. It wasn't a real serpent, they said, but a spirit, a guardian of the lake, angry at those who disrespected it. My father, Baba, was a proud fisherman. He believed in hard work, not superstitions. The lake is just water, he would say, shaking his head at the elders' warnings, and water can't harm you if you respect it. But one year the rains didn't come. The crops withered, and the fish stopped biting. The village grew desperate. That was when Baba decided to fish at night. He wasn't the only one. Many men had started fishing after sunset, hoping the cooler waters would yield a better catch. But Baba was different. He wasn't afraid of going deep into the lake, where the water turned black and the air grew still. "The big fish are out there," he told me. "I'll bring them back for us." The night he disappeared, the moon was hidden behind thick clouds. I remember sitting by the shore, waiting for his boat to return. It was late, later than usual, and the air felt heavy, as if the lake was holding its breath. Then I heard it, a scream. It wasn't human. It was high-pitched, almost like a whistle, and it came from the middle of the lake. I ran to the water's edge, my heart pounding. "Baba!" I shouted, but there was no response. I waited until dawn, but his boat never came back. When the villagers found the boat the next morning, it was empty. It floated near the reeds, its wooden frame scratched and splintered. Inside, they found Baba's net. It was soaked, tangled with weeds and something else, something that looked like hair. The elders were quick to speak. "It's the curse," they said. "He went too far. He angered Nyoka wa Usiku." I didn't believe them. Baba was careful. He respected the lake. He would never do anything to anger it. But then strange things started happening. It began with the dreams. I saw Baba standing at the edge of the lake calling my name. His voice was distant, echoing, as if it came from underwater. His eyes were dark, his face pale. "Come," he said, stretching out his hand. Every time I woke up, I felt wet, like I had been standing in the lake. My mother said it was just grief, but I knew it was more than that. The village was changing too. Fishermen reported strange catches, fish with milky eyes, their scales falling off like dead skin. Others said they saw shadows moving beneath the surface, bigger than any fish they had ever seen. One night, a boy named Otieno went missing. He had gone to the lake to check his traps and never returned. The next morning, his family found his traps torn apart, as if something had shredded them with claws. The elders decided to perform a cleansing ritual. "We must appease the lake," they said, "or it will take more from us." They gathered at the shore with drums, herbs and offerings, goats, chickens, even pots of honey. The ceremony lasted all night, but the lake remained silent. No ripples, no wind, just silence. That was when the whispers began. At first they were faint, like the rustling of reeds in the wind, but they grew louder, clearer. "Come," the voice sounded like Baba's. "Come to the lake." It wasn't just me who heard it. Other villagers began to complain of the same thing. At night, the lake called to us, using the voices of our loved ones. One by one, people began to vanish. Some were found days later, floating in the shallows, their bodies twisted and bloated. Others were never seen again. My mother grew paranoid. She forbade me from going near the water, but the dreams didn't stop. "Come," Baba's voice whispered every night. "I need you." I couldn't take it anymore. One night I snuck out of the house and went to the lake. The moon was full, casting an eerie glow over the water. The air was cold, and the whispers were louder than ever. "Come closer," they said. I waded into the water, my feet sinking into the soft mud. "Baba?" I called out, and then I saw it. At first it looked like a ripple, a shadow moving beneath the surface. But it grew larger, rising slowly until it broke through the water. It wasn't Baba. It was something else. Its skin was pale and slimy, its eyes black as night. Its mouth was wide, filled with teeth that looked like broken glass. And it was holding something. Baba's fishing net. I froze, unable to move as it reached for me. I don't remember how I got back to shore. The villagers said they found me at sunrise, lying near the reeds, soaked and shivering. I tried to tell them what I saw, but they didn't believe me. They said it was just a nightmare, a trick of my grieving mind. But I know what I saw. To this day, the lake remains quiet, but the stories haven't stopped. People still vanish. Strange lights still dance on the water. And sometimes late at night, I still hear the whispers. "Come." I don't go to the lake anymore, but I know it's waiting, and it's still hungry.